This is Drop Tent Media Network.
Seriously, Dad?
Seriously, Dad? Two father comedians out of Philadelphia. Seriously, Dad?
Dad?
Seriously, Dad?
Seriously? Seriously?
Yo, welcome back, season 2. Seriously Dead.
You know, but
Yeah, you're just on the second chapter. That's all.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, beautiful. So we are recording now,
Which is great.
so Neil's gonna do this clap thing he's into, and then we're gonna get it rocking.
Yeah. Hey, hi, Greg. How are you doing? I'm producer Neil. Yeah, I'm gonna do a clap thing. I'm super into it. I'm super into
Do
the
it slow,
clap.
baby.
There's nothing to do with editing at all. Yeah, cool. This is not live. We can stop whenever. So if you have any problems or anything like that, if you drop, that does happen every once in a while. If we start to notice, you might flicker out, or if we start flickering out or something like that, it's all good. We're just probably going to pause. We'll come in. You can always leave the studio, come right back in. It's all good.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Nice.
All right.
You good to go?
Good.
He's back.
Yeah,
Business man.
Jay with the goddamn man.
You go, Jay Yoder, the J, and also it's like not even spelled. He's like, I'm just Jay.
Yeah, I was doing like a text chain to someone. I was like, you can hop on in whenever, and it was meant for Greg, and I sent it to like this other guy that I was doing business. He's like, I don't understand what you mean by hop on in. I'm like, sorry, that's how it's for people right now.
Not what you think, buddy.
You at one of your swinger parties again?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Ready? 3, 2.
There's that clap we love so much.
No, they won't hear that. He's gonna cut it from right now.
Oh shit! I just gave away. That's
Don't
behind the
give the
scenes,
secrets.
baby.
Don't give away the secrets.
All right. Upstate New York in the house.
Yeah.
Upstate New York. I like it because I'm from upstate New York.
So
So
we're-
same haircut,
man.
same vibe, man. Me and
Exactly.
Yeah,
welcome,
well,
comedian Greg Owens. What up, brother?
All right. Thanks for having me, fellas. Good to be
yeah,
here.
dude, I'm
Thanks
so
for,
excited. Well, actually, it was funny because that's how we met through comedy. But then, getting to learn a little bit more about you. You were so great when I came up to Rochester on the board teachers tour. You came up and like took me for my first garbage plate.
Oh
Yeah,
shit!
And he came pick me up at the hotel when I got up there. It was great.
Yeah, he said. Just so you know, he said he didn't really like it.
I did
What?
not. Yeah, well, he knows I said I didn't like the garbage plate that much.
What the fuck is? What does that even mean?
You didn't? I didn't realize
like
that.
it.
Yeah, that changes everything, right? You don't even have to talk to this guy. You can talk to me. It's
You know
fine.
what?
You can-
I'm done. I'll see you guys.
I love those things, man. I don't know. I haven't had one like into adulthood. It probably fucked me up now.
That's what I'm saying. Like, well, because I was
yeah.
nervous about then doing the show after eating a garbage plate. You know what I mean? Like, but no, that was good. No, I appreciate you, coming on today because this season we've been really, honing in on people who have, different kinds of jobs outside, of comedy as well. And you sort of have an interesting start to your pre-comedy life. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you used to do before comedy?
Yeah. Well, I always loved comedy and would have loved to start doing comedy when I was in college, but I had a pretty conservative family and I was always super respectful of my parents and they were totally not into that. They said, you got to get a good job with a good company that's got a 401k and good health insurance and all that. So that's what I did. I got a job with the Fortune 500 company, the Sherwin-Williams Paint Company.
Wow.
Okay.
It's a great company for secure income and reliable income. And it gave me the ability to retire before, at age like 57, just because I used their retirement plan and saved a
that's
ton
awesome.
of money. And
So I use Sherwin-Williams paint.
that's the best.
I'm not fucking around. When I have to paint something, there's a Sherwin-Williams by my house. I use Sherwin-Williams paint, and it is the best paint. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Yeah.
Now, did you like?
And I'm
did
not
you-
even pimping for them anymore. I don't care
I know.
what paint you use, but it is
Yeah,
the
and they're
best
not
paint.
paying me for saying that, but it's good
Yeah.
fucking paint. There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
you just had found them at like a job fair, or like how did like you come to be?
My dad was friends with their HR guy, and
Okay.
it kind of, for me, it ended up really being the path of least resistance thing because it was an easy job to get. But they hire you into this manager training program. You become an assistant manager, a manager at their paint stores, and then you can go,
As far
from there.
as whatever.
The sky's the limit. I tended to make decisions that kept me at the bottom level, but I think it was a pretty impressive for 35
That's
years.
that state employee mentality. You know,
Before-
you
I
do
was
the
like-
least amount of work and get it done.
I performed really well at the bottom level. I might have been the best manager they ever had.
The best bottom
It
feeder
was
we got.
the best non-promotable guy they ever had.
Well, I mean, I tell you what, there's a lot of companies out there now that I think like Wawa comes to mind. Like, you know, that's one that I've seen even as a high school teacher. I'll go into like the local Wawas and I'll see kids that I were teaching now and they're there years now. Then like the most consistent thing I've seen them do because they say, oh, they have a really good plan. They're giving me health benefits. Like, you know, that's the kind of stuff that like you want to see. Chick-fil-A, a lot of these other businesses have models that are similar to that. Now, I thought it was interesting. You talked about like that's what your family wanted for you to do, and I think that is that makes me nervous as a dad. Like, what am I putting on my kids so that they feel like they have to do something? You know, like we played the game of life at New Year's Eve. I was talking about this on another episode, and I honestly, when we got to the part, I'm like having this discussion with my daughter about if she's going to college or if she's going the trades. I'm like, we need welders, sweetheart. Like, there's this so it's just such a weird conversation. I don't want to put those things on my kids, but at the same time, I know I want the best for them. You know what I mean? Like your kids are a little older.
Well, they do that though a lot though. Like for me, because I'm very similar to I had a corporate American job with a rental car company that's colored as green, and you know they kind of like I was a criminal justice major in college because I thought I was going to be a fucking lawyer. Okay, right. There's a first joke. So I was gonna be a lawyer. I'm not gonna be a fucking. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what I'm doing. So I get out of school. I don't know what's going on. Then they're like, "We'll hire you." In all your imperfection and your 2.8 GPA and this major that you didn't really know, we will hire you and we'll just teach you everything. And they kind of like they get their hooks in you early, and then they give you a career, and you can make a full like you did. You made a full blown career out of it. I did not. But you know, you did, and I know a lot of people that do. They got 4-year degrees. They may have been like a philosophy major or something that they can't really use. Yeah. And then they retire at 50. What the fuck? You're winning with that.
Not a bad deal. It ain't work. I mean, you know, it wasn't easy. I mean, you know, any job you're gonna do well at. I joke about it. I mean, I did well at it. I got, you know, I guess I never really made it into full-fledged middle management, but I got close. But at any rate, yeah, you know, you get what you put into it. That's with any job.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know, I guess with my kids, I just tell them I didn't put it on them that they had to get a super secure job. I kind of, with my experience, which worked for me, but if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't. I'd have moved to New York City and lived in a fucking efficiency suite with 15 guys and, you know,
that's funny because that's I think a lot of what happens too with parents. Like if your parents were a certain way with you, you fight that. There's a cycle of being either really lax or loose or saying, well, now from my experience. So your kids are a little bit older. What's the rundown on the ages of your kids?
28, 27. No, wait a minute. 27, 26, 23, and 21.
Oh, so like
shit.
that's prime. Yeah. So can you give us a rundown of where they're at with their like careers or?
Yeah, what are they up to?
They're all doing great, man. I couldn't be prouder, man. My oldest daughter, she's out in LA. She's a producer for a fashion company.
Nice.
My son's down in New York area, graphic designer, killing it. You know,
nice.
When they joke about the graphic design major being a wasted major, but he's smoking it, absolutely crushing it.
Good.
And my 23-year-old, he's trying to make it in theater down in New York, and he's probably he's good. And there's your, you know, go for it type thing. You know what I mean? I'm not going to tell him get a real job, do your fucking thing, man, you know? And then, my 21-year-old's in the weed industry. So, cause that's his first love.
Nice. But that's cool because corporate America is not going anywhere, right? Like, you know, you can swing for the fences, go to New York and do your thing. And then you decide I'm clocking out, and then you can go to wherever you want and get a job as long as you don't shoot yourself in the foot on the way up, right?
Yeah,
the
well,
biggest
I think that's the challenge for today's kids. Like the digital era, they don't even think about the digital footprint. You might have had the interview before you've had the interview. You know, I mean, I've seen these coaches on like TikTok, and they'll talk to like even as a baseball coach for high school here, we'd have coaches come in from colleges, and the first thing they'll say is, "We look at your social media, and it's going to tell on you. So you better figure out what you're putting out there." That's the challenge I think for today that none of us had to worry about, you know, growing up.
Yeah, exactly. You can't. I mean, I did it when I was hiring, 5-8 years ago. I just Googled people on Facebook and Instagram. And, I don't know if it was okay to do or not, but I did it.
Did you find anything? Did you ever find anything that like made somebody not get the job?
Or what would be the thing that you'd be like, we're not hiring this person?
Yeah, I mean, nobody ever really had anything crazy going on there. You know what I mean? I don't know what it would be really. So I guess it's probably more just being nosy. I don't know.
Yeah, well, but I think it's a real thing. You should get a good sense of who they are. Are they responsible? Like, I think that's all plays a part.
Yeah. I mean, if you see like, they got posters or pictures of partying and this and that, and you're going to think twice. Make sure they have a really good interview and have some good stuff to say, but you also might have them pegged as a bullshit artist too, because how they're living outside of work.
Right.
Well, we had a cybersecurity person on 2 episodes ago, and she said she recommends everybody go and Google themselves, just to kind of see what's out there on you. And I did it the other day just because of her being on here. So I went in and was like, oh, what's out there of me? And, I think that's something that hopefully kids are doing today so they can kind of figure out, like, have I shot myself in the foot already? And, especially if you're going to do something high end like FBI or somewhere where you got to really be vetted,
I think if you're going to work for the FBI, you shouldn't have social media at all, probably.
Well, I mean, that's unrealistic. Or we're not going to have any FBI agents.
We're not going to have them on Seriously Dead. And you're like,
yeah, no, that's true. I mean, we were, I was hiring people to mix paint. So it's not exactly.
And a machine that probably hell, the kids at Wawa aren't allowed to count change anymore. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, right. So,
I mean, even back in the day, the deli people had to take the yellow sheet out and listen to you and write it all down. Like, could you imagine? Now it just kicks out and tells them what to put on.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
But when you I was thinking, you're going to hire a young person. You went to their social media and they were drinking a lot, right? But they were 24 years old. That's not real. They're not breaking the law, right? That's not like pretty normal shit, right? So what would be the straw that broke the camel's back? Like how much they got to drink before you're like, I'm not hiring.
He's
this
like,
guy.
they're checking,
asking for a friend. On that one. Asking for a friend. If this comedy thing doesn't work out, I could be at Sherwin-Williams.
Yeah. If you're not signing up to be a youth pastor, I think it's okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, I'm guessing, the guy's flashing his fat stacks and his all his gold chains and freaking rings and flashing gang signs. Maybe that's a no. You know what I mean? But
we'll call you back. We'll call you.
They're selling kids to paint on Halloween night. They're he's buying extra paint and selling it out of his
flipping paint on the back of his Chevy Nova.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's it. When I think the biggest challenge for a lot of kids now too is to not be on their phones while they're at their job, or to not be making a TikTok of setting that up as at their job, where they're not wearing the shirt or they're not in the business. Because that, even for me as a teacher, if I'm doing any of my TikTok, I'm not doing them when I'm on company time or on company property. That kind of stuff where I think kids today are, I joked about CVS. I don't think there's an employee in a CVS, or if there are, they're in the back doing TikToks because nobody runs that. Have you ever been into a CVS?
Oh my God. You can't,
nobody in a
clock
CVS.
Out. You can't get it. You got all your shit. You want to pay for it. The self scanner is always fucking broken.
And it's so loud and obnoxious.
And then there's this ding. You got ding this bell at the front. Like you're waiting for Benson to come out and get your luggage for you. Some shit. It's the fuck. It's really, really weird. Yeah, fuck CVS. And then they give you the receipt from hell. That fucking long ass receipt because we need that.
That's not Greta Thunberg approved. That killed 10 trees to get that receipt. Also, you could get 50 cents off a product you don't even buy.
Yeah. Yeah. So there probably won't be humans running a CVS in the next 10 years.
No, I think we're getting to a place too where where those kind of, you can see it already. I mean, like at Wawa at night now, like they completely shut down the registers and you just have to use the self-serve unless you like hunt them down and say, I only have cash. But like I ran in last night coming home from a gig and I just ran in and was like, fine, I'll use my card. I had cash. I was going to pay cash, but I wasn't going to bother. So I was just like, all right, I'll just use the card and I'll bring my 16-ounce up coffee as a 12-ounce.
Yeah.
Because I was sticking it to the man.
Yeah.
I just ruined my secret while I was
While I was
hunting
watching
me now.
this.
And that makes it tough on us comics getting paid cash for a show because then you can't even use the cash.
You can't even use them stuffing it in my mattress. It was like,
So when you got out, when you retired from your corporate from Sherwin-Williams, were you like, I'm going to retire and I'm going to go all in on this comedy thing, or you're like, I'm going to retire, boy, I'm bored, let me try some comedy? How did that, like, how'd you get in there?
Nah, I was kind of I want to go all in on comedy, but
Okay.
I also found retirement life is kind of cool, man. So I ended up kind of not going all in on comedy right away because we did some not crazy traveling, but took some trips and hung out and just had fun, man, for the first year. And but so now recently I've started trying, going more all in full time,
yeah, well, you just headline at the Carlson, or you have it coming up, or
well, that's coming up April 4th. That's my first big headlining gig.
Hey,
there you go. Well, good. That
Nice.
actually this will air before then. So
Good,
go
good.
to the Carlson.
Hit the Carlson, motherfuckers.
That's
Bring
right.
him up.
CarlsonComedy.com for tickets.
Before you retired, you had been doing comedy though, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Part time.
Okay. Hitting mics here and there, doing all that stuff.
Right.
And then what's the Rochester comedy scene looking like? I wasn't doing comedy when I lived in Rochester. What's going on up there?
Yeah, it's a decent scene. I mean, we've got a really good comedy club, the Carlson, that Jay was at, and you're coming to in another couple weeks, right?
Yep. I'll be up there soon.
It's a top flight comedy club. We get all touring A-list headliners come through there, and so that's cool that we got that in a small market, because if you do well in the local market, Rochester, like I did fairly well, you get the MC there, you get the feature there, you meet, top line headliners. And so it's cool for that. And then there's a bunch of comics, bunch of young comics putting on shows, bar shows, coffee house shows all over the place.
That's awesome. I did see even the Carlson ran a new comic contest. There was like $100 on the line, 20 comics, audience votes. Like I saw them doing something kind of like that. It's always fun when a comedy club does that. And like, because now they're bolstering the scene. They're giving 20 young people an opportunity in a night. Mm-hmm. That's huge. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not just an open mic. I guess it's actually free for people to come to. They probably do the drink minimum or whatever, and they have food and stuff, but that's like cool. It's nice to see them investing in young talent like that.
Yeah. And the owners of that place, that's kind of part of their mission statement, is not so much as a for-profit comedy club. I mean, I'm sure that's part of it, but they want to be able to bolster the comedy scene and give comics a place to cut their teeth,
Yeah, Rochester, but Rochester in general is just a cool scene. Because I did the weekend up there this past summer, so I got to stay for a couple of days, and like it's great for the family. Like, I can't wait to bring my kids up, because I was almost jealous. I went to that play museum.
Oh, yeah,
Strong Museum or whatever it's called.
Strong Museum of Play.
Oh my
Right?
God.
That's
It's
what
insane. They just dumped millions of dollars into like this amazing rendition of like toy Hall of Fame stuff. Like, finding the arcade stuff in there is insane. Pinball. I mean, it's incredible up there.
I haven't been there probably since 10 years now. So it's crazier even than the last time I was there.
I can't wait to let my daughter just rip through. My daughter's like such a fiend for they both love video games. So I just can't imagine to show them some of the old school stuff and
Oh man, yeah, that place is a trip. And the Hall of Fame too, the Toy Hall of Fame you get to walk through.
Oh my gosh, it's like walking down memory lane with some of the stuff in there.
Yep.
Cabbage Patch dolls from like 1983 and the Viewfinders. Remember the Viewfinders?
Man.
The stupid little picture deals I could turn on.
Oh,
Jesus Christ. What are we doing with those?
That's what we used to do when you go to an amusement park.
He just looked at it. He just looked at their picture.
We used to get the ones where you get on your keychain.
The little keychain with you going down the roller coaster looking like you're going to die. Yeah.
Yep. The good old days.
Can you
Now it's
imagine-
just digital.
Can you imagine giving that to a kid these days as a gift? Like, hey,
He probably
here's a
fuck
toy
you
for
up.
you.
He probably get your ass kicked.
The
Yeah, no, I could not. I could not. No, that's crazy though. So now your kids are killing it. They're doing really well. Like, and you were not as strict. So now your wife, was she on board with that? How was
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, that was kind of our thing from the beginning. Was just really let them rip, man. And I don't know how we did it, but they turned out to be incredibly sharp kids, and they pulled it off on their own, man. You know what I mean? It's like I joke about the fact that I wasn't ever a helicopter parent. I was more like a submarine parent.
Yeah.
But
well, I was like, it's so funny because it's like you work so hard to be a parent, but then I had a fail moment today that I went to. My daughter had her cheer thing. I literally walked in as her thing was ending, and I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like,
oh my God,
they had set a certain time, and I should have got there earlier. It was before the time they set. Should have been there, sitting there. Thankfully, my wife is amazing and was already there and had recorded it, but I got to go up for her second, she did a tumble thing. But I'm like, man, I missed it. I was like, here, there's gonna be plenty of times where I couldn't have been in the vicinity. I was getting gas at Wawa. I could have gotten gas.
Yeah,
after. And I was just like, one move where you miss those things and you're like, oh, that's so stupid. How did I do that? And it's despite all of those moments, despite the missteps, it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I got to go over, give her a big hug. I got her a flower. She's gonna remember that. She's not gonna remember that I wasn't even in the stand because I'm not gonna tell her.
And you're gonna let her down so much more in her life. That's not gonna be a small but nothing. Wait till it's time for you to get married. Watch Daddy fuck up on that one, right?
Dude, are you kidding me?
Yeah, you're just getting started.
I know.
So you have 4 kids. Do you talk about your kids a lot during your comedy? And how important or how much are they part of your performance, or do you kind of leave them alone? What are you doing with them?
Nah, they're in it probably 15 minutes worth out of 45 or so. Probably actually more than that, really.
Do your kids think you're funny? Do they think you're funny?
Yeah, they like it.
They approve? Did you run any jokes by them, or you're like, I don't have to,
Yeah, I run stuff by them sometimes. You know what I mean? I got half of them are gay, so
he's like half of them are gay. So 2 of your 4 kids are gay.
Half the population of your house is homosexual. Nice.
There it is.
So I go on about that, and they're cool with it. They, I'm careful to. That could be a touchy subject, and so I make sure that they're good with it all. You know what I mean?
That's so crazy because we have an episode where we talk about talking about our family, and Jay, he has a daughter with autism, and bringing that up, talking about it, but not shitting on something that is maybe important to someone or offensive to someone else. You ever talking about your gay kids and you feel people pull back, or has anyone ever said anything to you when you're done because they feel like you were too harsh on this family that you love so much? Have you ever felt that, or is that something that comes in your world at all?
Honestly, no, really. I mean, I've had people that they don't believe me that I got, 2 gay kids. They're like, you really got 2 gay kids? And I'm like, yeah, and it's they're amazed by that, Yeah. But the funny thing is I actually say that in my act. If you come on April 4th, you'll get to hear me.
There you go. I love it.
I just kind of throw it out there. I'm like, half my kids are gay. And it gets a 50-50 report. Sometimes the audience just goes dead silent. Sometimes the audience laughs about it, and sometimes I get cheers. And the gayer the crowd, the more cheers. The straighter the crowd, the quieter they get. It's kind of weird, man. It's interesting. So.
Yeah, and I noticed that I even had to put in save lines in there when people would get really butt tight. I'd be like, come on, you all had an Aunt Kathy who had a roommate. Stop it. Or you have to throw things in there guys, it's not contagious. You're okay. But because we were talking on a previous episode, like you were saying about that concept of are we allowed? And I think as long as you put it in, as long as it's your experience, so as long as they know that it's part of your world. But it is funny, when you and I did that gig in Railroad, I had a woman come up to me and was like, is your kid really autistic? Or do you really have a kid with autism? I'm like, yeah, no, I just made that up for 15 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It's and I get it. People wonder now. And there was a comic, what was it? Hassan Minaj.
That's a comic.
Came under fire. came under fire
what'd he say?
recently for
Making up all
for
kinds of
and
shit,
it
man.
really wasn't. Like if you listen to his some people say it cost him the shot at the Daily Show. As
Wait,
being,
what? Okay, I don't know about this. What did he do?
So he had told a joke, and I can't recall the joke. Neil might have to chime in if he knows a little bit better. But there was a joke in particular he told, and he eventually did a thing about it to explain why he did that. Neil, do you?
Yeah, I can pull it up. I mean, if it's on YouTube, we will. But yeah, he had set up a story in which he is the center of it. It seems, and then it kind of didn't match up. Like it didn't.
Oh, it was a
make
girlfriend.
sense.
It was a girlfriend, or
Right.
that. Yeah, that's right.
And then then it kind of came out that way, and then he had said he had changed it for those reasons, and
Yeah, he had cartooned it a little bit or blew it up, but like was for the point of the joke. It wasn't that something hadn't happened,
well, yeah,
but I don't know.
I think I don't know.
He has a rebuttal video that I thought was really good. That kind of cleared it up. I didn't know too much, but I think people get into the weeds on that because they're like, "Oh, am I making stuff up?" If like for me personally, I'm like, everything I write, I'm gonna make for my own life because now I know I'm not like directly trying to steal jokes from someone else or do something.
My sets
like
are
that.
99% true. My
Yeah.
comedy is 99% self-lived, and I'm telling you about it.
Kurt Cobain.
That's probably the only one that isn't true. That's honestly the only one that isn't true. And it may end up being true because my wife thinks it's funny, so it may happen to me. But that's the only one that isn't true. That's it. Everything else is real. So, but yeah, the fans can get weird. Sometimes they just want to talk to you, though.
Yeah,
That's the other thing. Sometimes they walk up and you go, "Hey, do you really have it?" They just want to talk to you.
yeah.
And they don't want to walk up and you go, "Oh my God, you're amazing. That was so funny. You were the best one on the show tonight," or whatever, that stupid line. So they say things like, "Oh, is it really true?" Because they would just want to talk to you and engage in conversation.
That old
believe.
chestnut.
That's because I used to get upset when people go, is your dad really da da da?
Totally, dude. When they come up and they're like, "I want to have sex with you. I want to leave
Yeah.
right now. Like,
Yeah,
I want to
no.
give you all my money." Every time with these comments all the time, it's a nightmare. Greg, right? You deal with that all the time.
Actually, Greg's got the best merch I've ever seen. Well, Greg, what is your merch that you sell?
Oh man, shoot, man! I don't have any handy. Socks, because I talk about how a guy with 8 kids thought he was telling how he got in an argument with me. He told me 4 kids isn't a lot of kids, 8 kids is a lot of kids, and I was like, "No, pal, 8 kids is just you not planning, man. That's just you not paying attention to what you're doing." And maybe you ought to have a little self-restraint, maybe wipe some of them off on the drapes or something. And, drapes, socks, whatever. Shit, socks. I just started giving my socks children's names after a while.
Nice.
So,
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
So you got a pair of them.
so yeah. So you can get at any of my shows, or you can DM me on Instagram, and we can work something out. But nice pair of good athletic socks. Say hi to my kids on the side of them.
They remind me of like Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
Greg Owens.
they
Greg Owens comedy on the bottom. Yeah, you can get them in orange with yellow letters, or these yellow ones with orange letters.
Are they grippy on the bottom like the Sky Zone socks so you can fuck in them?
No, you could though. You could. Good heavy socks.
You fuck on a hardwood floor, you get the Sky Zone socks.
Good soccer socks. They're stretchy. You could put shin guards inside them if you want. Good
Albert's gonna-
basketball socks.
Albert's gonna buy a pair and galvanize the bottoms because that's how intense his sexual situation
Yeah.
is. Anyway,
Yeah, Albert's like telling jokes like, "You ever F so good, you just
Don't
wish
do
somebody
this.
would walk in on you." I was like,
don't do this. Don't do this. Don't do this to his set. It's wonderful. I love these kids.
That's a great one, right? Everyone loves that one.
I know. I'm jealous. I love it.
I'm not going to do that, Joe. I was about to say,
I've never had that happen.
Sorry. Yeah, the merch is great. I love comics with great merch, quick phrases, or something that really means something. It's always wonderful.
Yeah, it's so fun. So a comic. Well, he's not a comic. Actually, he's more of an entrepreneur. He started doing improv, and now he goes to businesses and teaches improv for like team building stuff for like Fortune 500 companies like Sherwin-Williams. Yeah. And he sent me for free a game he created, and it's called Pivot Pitch. and it's basically like a Shark Tank improv game. So it comes with like 3 sets of cards. One is nouns, one are adjectives, and then one are these like random questions. And so what you're supposed to do is split people into like groups, and then everybody gets a noun and an adjective, and that is your product. So now you have to come up in 60 seconds with a product and then pitch it. And then after you're done with your pitch, there's a question. And then it's kind of like Cards Against Humanity, where you keep somebody out that judges to like be the one to say, oh, that was the best product, or they handled the question really good. So I thought maybe we'd play a quick round. How do you guys feel about that?
Let's do it. I'm probably gonna fuck this up because I'm still a little confused, but let's give it a shot.
So how about I do a model round?
I'll be the judge. Let me be the judge.
No, I was gonna say Neil should be the judge.
Okay, I kind of.
I'll do it. Let me do it. Let me do a model. Let me do a model round.
Hey guys, this isn't live, so we can just edit.
Yeah, if it doesn't work, we can edit it out.
Yeah. It's all
Does that
good.
make you feel better?
Yeah. Okay. Great.
All right.
I mean, I'll give it a shot anyway. I just. All
right.
It's supposed to be kind of funny, right? So fuck it.
All right. So I guess I'll start by just picking random cards for us, and I'll tell you.
You know, Jay stacked the deck. These are
I'm
not random
shuffling.
cards.
I'm shuffling.
He studied these cards. He's like, okay, I
I'm
gotta get
shuffling.
that. Yeah.
Shuffle.
I hope that's not, because if he did, that's so sad.
I'll pick mine last, and I won't give myself any time. How about
It's
that?
a possibility. Though.
I believe you that you have more
I'm so
important things
alpha
to
with
do.
that. Like, it's a game. I want to win.
Yeah.
All right. And then, all right, here we go. So here's
Take a
your
card. Do you want me to give Neil a card, or Neil's gonna be?
No, Neil's just the judge.
Okay, but how is he gonna pick? How's
I'm going to tell him
pick
what it is. So now you have a noun and an adjective, right?
this? Okay.
And I'm going to give you one, Greg. So your adjective is familiar.
Oh God.
Your noun is tooth. So now you have to come up with a product with the product name familiar tooth and be able to pitch
You want me to
us
show the
what
camera what I
it
have?
is.
Yeah, sure. Promotion.
Acoustic
Acoustic
promotion.
promotion.
And
So
mine,
now I got to tell you what the business of acoustic.
My product.
mine is going to be Royal Mall.
Oh man, you guys
So-
got like real stuff. I got
So
Now you're telling me he didn't stack the deck with this Royal? He's got a whole 20 minutes written on Royal Mall right now.
let me just tell you, actually, people are saying in America now malls are dying. And it's because we haven't thought about bringing back King George III. There was a time in America where we shined and malls reigned supreme. And if we could get back to the Royal Mall, I mean, we're talking pedicures, manicures for your pets. Okay. We're talking, you can go, the food court is a literal court. Okay. It is a court of a ballroom in which they come over to you and they serve you. They have Auntie Anne's pretzels. They have
Han
Chick-
Dynasty.
Han Dynasty. They have
not Philly pretzels?
so many things. No, Auntie Anne, she married into the royal family. So she's kind of like a Princess Diana.
they have,
I thought you were going to do a little more Princess Diana material on that
yeah,
one.
I
to be
did.
honest with you.
Now I
But
should
it
have
got cut short.
So now, yeah, There's a lot of traffic that day.
Gadooch.
All right, they have a panda low and slow.
Now my question is,
Sorry, everybody.
why would a toy designer find your product appealing? Well, I mean, we need a KB Toys in there. Do you remember KB Toys?
I do remember KB Toys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we need a
great
KB Toys in the Royal Mall because, those rich kids, they're not just hitting hoops with sticks anymore. We need to get in there and get some royal games like polo. They're going to go pro at polo.
All of the toys will be stolen from other countries. Sorry, I'm going for the harder joke, but I don't know why.
I like that.
All right, that's so there was mine.
Okay.
That was very good. Good
All
job,
right,
Jay.
thank you.
All right.
Good
Now
job,
you-
buddy.
Yeah.
You're a trained expert at this.
right.
You're a good salesman.
All right, Greg. What you got? What's Greg's?
Oh, we're going to me now.
I set that up. Yes.
Yeah, Albert's like, I need more time on this
I'm still
assignment.
thinking.
And yours was familiar. What would I say? It was
Familiar Tooth.
the familiar tooth.
Familiar Tooth is the premier candy store of all time. It makes what's that joint in New York City? Danny's or something like that. I forget what it's called. It's it's a 5-story tall candy boutique. It's got everything you could ever imagine. We call it familiar tooth because everybody's got a sweet tooth. That's their familiar tooth. It's the same one that keeps getting that cavity that you got to go to the dentist for. And the dentist is kind of shaking his head by the third. He's like, "What the fuck, man?"
He's like,
Quit eating
familiar
that.
tooth?
That's the familiar tooth. So
why did your company buy a lion?
well, we thought that the lion's teeth with those big incisors and bicuspids were
shit.
just perfect for our company logo. You know,
It's pretty good. Incisor. I mean, I like the use of incisor there. Bicuspid. Are you fucking kidding me? You
This
won.
guy's got health insurance.
Yeah, right. Delta Dental through Sherwin-Williams, baby. That's what we got.
I got a smile only a mother could love. I don't know if I have bicuspids or incisors, but I got gaps in my teeth, though. That's for sure.
Greg Owens listens while at the dentist. We know that because most of us just zone out and look at the television. That's insane.
All right.
It was my turn. All right. Mine is acoustic promotion. And here's the deal, Sharks. As a father, everybody knows one of the best things you can do is fart around your kids. It makes them laugh all the time. It's always good. It's never not funny. But as you get older, sometimes the sound doesn't really match up with the fart, okay? With acoustic promotion, all right, it's just a little device you're going to hook up to your belt buckle, and every fart's going to come out. You're going to feel the bass, the treble, everything, and your kids are going to laugh 100% of the time. Acoustic promotion. There you go.
How does your product serve the needs of a group of competitive sandcastle builders?
Because you build a sandcastle, and most castles have like trumpeters, right? Bum, ba, 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 right? Acoustic promotion, you're your own trumpeter. You strap that thing on and you start letting them squeal, and it's going to be like you got both speakers on that fucking castle.
It's like MTV Unplugged. It's acoustic.
Yes. Acoustic fart box. There you go. Acoustic promotion, baby.
That's it. Look at that. That was well done. See that?
This is really well done.
So this was a great game. So we're gonna post in the notes the guy who actually created it because I told him I thought it was really fun. I did it with a comedy class that I'm running through Soul Jewels right now, and I did it as sort of an improv open the other day. So it's a guy named Nathan Mins.
Nathan Mins, everybody.
Yeah, Nathan Mins at Nathan Mins MINNS on Instagram. And it's great. Yeah, it's called Pivot Pitch. And I think anybody who's like, especially in schools, I'm going to show this to our DECA, which is like the business club at school. We have business teachers at our school in the business department. I often volunteer to be the shark for when they do their Shark Tank project. But like, what a great tool. And I'm going to use this in the classroom to get to know my kids. I go back to teaching this spring semester now. So it's like, I'm going to use it as like a little warm up activity to have some fun with the kids and get to know them a little bit.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Now that, thank you, Nathan. Good work. Yeah. I think I'm going to go with Albert.
You have to. I think he was the best. That was the best.
That was no offense to anyone. I love your teeth work. I gotta say, Greg, I've never said this to another man. Your teeth work was amazing. Good job. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Albert.
But like when your kids are young and you fart, they laugh, right? Don't they? Like every time my kids laugh.
I mean, this is
every
a dad
time.
podcast, so yeah.
Every time. Like sometimes I try to fart just to make them laugh. You know, like I'm like, shit, I'm not doing well. I should fart right now.
Do you ever feel
and sometimes
pressure?
you shit your pants, but it's the effort that you put forth to make the kids
Hey,
laugh.
you make an omelet, you break a few eggs.
That's all it is.
It
baby.
smells like sulfur. My daughter, so we had virtual school 2 days in a row, and my wife was also on her, like she had to be on a Google Meet for kids to pop in, and Alicia was right next to her on the computer, and Alicia just rips one, and Amanda thought it was quiet enough, and she's just like, that was a loud fart. I better go check my underwear. And then she runs to the bathroom.
There you go.
And Amanda's like on a meet with her like high school students. And I'm just like, oh my God.
That's what it is. Everybody knows. Everybody's been there.
Please bring back regular snow days. This virtual nonsense. I don't know how you guys are running in Rochester, but like we
don't have
like
snow days.
I don't give a fuck. They invented snow up there. I don't give a shit.
What a nightmare. Because I'm not looking forward to any more snow or having these they call them flexible instruction days, but the kids have to be on the computer, like at least the elementary level, they have to be on like 9 to 9:20, 11 to 11:20, 1:10 to 1:30, and then they cut them loose, but they have to keep coming back for these synchronous mini lessons. I'm like, stop.
That's brutal. Just
It's-
let
it
them go
is.
play
Leave
in
those
the
fucking
snow,
kids alone.
man.
Let them go play. Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
what a snow day is.
With the
We
high
don't have it.
schoolers,
I mean, you know.
well, with the high schoolers, we get, I guess some of them were doing asynchronous, or you give them work and they just turn it in online and we're good. But for the younger ones, I guess they're just so still heavy with those damn standardized tests that they're just trying. I don't know. It's ridiculous. So
I got a question for you, Greg.
Okay.
It's almost
I don't know
like
if I
it's almost
that,
like I'm
Greg.
coming for him. I got a question for you, Greg.
Yeah.
Your Honor, I have a question for Greg. No, so you have 2 kids that are gay.
Yeah.
50% of the population is gay.
At 500.
Okay, what they came out like at one time? Did you know they were gay coming up through the ranks? Like how what was that like to go through it once and then again?
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, it didn't bother me a little bit. I had a feeling. I mean, I knew one absolutely was, and I would ask him it like all the time to the point that he was getting sick of me. Like it's like irritating dad, and I maybe hindsight being 2020 should have left him follow his own path. And then the other one, I just thought he might be, and then he came out first, the older one, and then the younger one came out. I don't know, a couple years or so later. My older one got in a car wreck with his boyfriend that he didn't know he was out with his boyfriend. And so he was past the, he had a junior license and he was out after 10 p.m. because that's what the law is in New York State. So the cops had to call us to come get him. The car didn't get wrecked. He didn't get hurt. It wasn't a bad accident. It wasn't even his fault. But since he was underage for being out after 10, so my wife goes and gets him and is like, well, who's this guy? He's like,
surprise.
Yeah.
He's my friend. It's probably easy to just be like, oh, it's my friend.
Nah, I mean, we knew as friends. We, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
This was a closeted thing, man. But it was all good, man. We all hugged that night, and thankfully nobody got hurt in the car wreck, and nothing bad happened to any of the cars or anything. But
so when you say you would ask him all the time, so like I'm not trying to make like you just be driving in the car and you'd be like, hey, are you? And
yeah,
like seriously, like it's cool if you are. Just let me know.
You can tell me if you want to talk about it. You got questions, concerns. I just want you to know, man. I love you unconditionally, brother.
Nice.
And
and he's like, Dad, shut up, leave me alone.
Exactly. And then, but here's the heartbreaking thing. This is, I think, important for people to hear, maybe because he said after he came out, at one time we're all hanging out together in the kitchen. I'm like, dude, are you or are you not? And he's like, yeah, I am. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, I am. I'm like, nah, you're fucking with me. Now you're fucking. And he's like, nah. I was like, all right, so for sure. He's like, yeah. I'm like, oh, I'm just surprised you finally decided to say so. And then he goes, well, you know what? I was pissed when Joe came out because then I was like, oh, now I got to be the one to let Dad know he's got 2 gay sons. And I was like, I mean, it kind of broke my heart a little bit. I was like, nah, shoot, man. It's nothing to, you know what I mean? It's all good. But that's the stuff these kids got to worry about. That's the heartbreaking part,
Well, yeah, where you don't want them. You want to feel like they can come to you about anything.
Right.
And then for them to think that they can't. But, it's important. We had an episode in first season where a friend of ours, Cisco, who runs a lot of shows in this area, had his son come out to him recently, and that was something that he's like, we looked up a lot of the information that is out there for parents in that situation. All the literature is saying like, hey, it's in their own time. It's their decision when that gets broken, and people tell that it's important to ask them how they identify, all of those things, because it was really good for people to know that there were ways, if there's a parent out there who suspects that of their kid, that it's got to be on their time, and for them to just have a way to let them know that there's a way to have that conversation, and that's hard. And there's plenty of organizations. GLAAD, I think, is the one that often promotes a lot of gay and lesbian literature, but also in being proactive for parents on how to have that discussion when their kids are ready.
Yeah. Do you guys, there's all the 3 dads in the room, different experiences, but I feel like, yeah, right. There's going to be a time in teenagehood where also the correct answer is, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like now they're like, I'm actually trying to figure out what we all kind of got a different thing, but like, you know, yeah, you're just gonna be like, I don't know, Dad.
Yeah.
I'm working it out too.
Yeah.
Figuring it out.
Yeah, right.
Now, I wonder if it's different. Like, so I have daughters. You know what I mean? I feel like, and this could be wrong. Could just be what I'm thinking. I feel like a son telling their dad that he is gay is a little bit different than a girl telling her dad that she's gay.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Because it's gonna be tougher on
I think it's gonna be a little harder for the boy.
Hmm.
You know, like I just feel that way. You know what I mean? But I could be wrong. I don't really know. But and that's for the child, not for the parent. But you know, to sit down and be like, Dad, I'm gay, is probably a little different than your daughter being like, Dad, I'm gay. But
Yeah.
I could be wrong. But
Well,
you know,
would you guys agree? I think because our experience is, sorry to pipe in, I just think of our experience. There's a term, toxic masculinity. I don't hear a ton of toxic femininity. Do you know what I mean? It's a guess. We're all just speculating, but yeah.
Oh, it exists.
I was gonna say you're not here about because it doesn't exist. You're here about because somebody else talking.
No, but you're right. I mean, I think to a certain degree, I know, and it's a different time. Like I think, I think about my dad. I don't think my dad ever said out loud to his parents while they were living that he was gay. That was not something that ever. Now again, different time. Where he was born in like the 50s, but like even my mom, that was not something she was ever going to admit to her parents while they were alive. So like you can imagine that even still we're seeing, even if a parent is being super supportive and saying, hey, it's still because they might be figuring it out. Like Neil said, it's like, who knows? I mean, it's, I'm still in the closet figuring out what I'm going to wear today. Never mind what sexuality I am.
I'm 40 years old recently. And there are things that I'll probably never tell my parents because I don't know if they could handle it. And their reactions may be, I know it's kind of funny, but the reactions may be like really, really too heavy for them. You know what I mean? Like if there's something that may have happened when I was younger.
Do you hope your daughters hold on to something that they'll never tell you?
I don't want them to, but I don't want to. I think that, I know for me personally, there's a few things that I'll just never tell my parents. Just because I think it may break their heart.
Yeah, statute of limitations.
May affect like their well-being. It may hurt very much, but I'll never say. I know it's probably kind of sad to hear, but just because I don't want to put them in a situation where they're going to be heartbroken. And I bet you kids feel the same way when they got to tell someone they're gay. Maybe like I'm going to break my dad's heart by letting him know, I'm gay, and they don't want to say it. I don't know, maybe that's kind of heavy, but that's
no. I think that's the reality. I think we don't want to disappoint our parents. Well, Greg got into like the business he got into because he's like, well, I wanted to, and that wasn't even anything as heavy as sexuality. It was just I'm going to go into the workforce here. It's not something I'm super passionate about, but I want to obey my parents. I mean, it's one of the tenets, whether you're Christian or whatever, most of the Judeo-Christian values revolve around listening and obeying your parents.
Right.
So that's well embedded in our culture, even if you're not someone who's religious. I think secularly we still, they provided and protected us when we couldn't. And so now, we want to walk away that, that they could be
makes
proud
them happy,
of us.
right?
Yeah,
Makes them proud. You know what I mean?
They gave us this opportunity that now that we can stand on our own 2 feet and we can do our own thing, we carry their name. And with that, we carry a legacy that we have to uphold, or we superimpose some of those values on ourselves. But, I think you get it great. I think you and your wife did a phenomenal approach to how to combat that and let them be themselves. And now they're killing it out there in their careers and their lives, and they're all out of the house.
Yeah, man.
They're all New York. Sounds like they're all New York City, right? Is that what it is?
One's in California.
One's in California. 2 are down around the city, and one's right here in town. But he's in his own apartment. So
Do you call your kids in New York and like, hey, you think you can get me booked at the Cellars? you know anyone over at the Cellar or Gotham or something? Daddy's got some.
Well, my kid makes it in theater or movies. I'll be riding his coattails.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Fuck
Hey,
yeah.
Hey, buddy, if you ever meet Judd Apatow, maybe you can,
quick cameo. Let you make
tell him
a
he got a
cameo.
real funny dad. We could do like a father-son thing.
I'll come warm up the show. I'll come warm up the crowd before the show. And that prelude.
We're just talking about Rob Schneider now, right? Not the diss. I'm just saying we're talking about Rob Schneider.
Dude, no, that's I don't even know any last words, anything we want to wrap up on.
Yeah, we talked about, a lot of career things and those
Yeah.
effects and sexuality and raising children. Yeah, huge.
Did
We
we
hit
Great
on
episode.
everything.
Yeah.
I think
Played
we
a
conquered
game.
the world in
Got off the
less than an
career
hour.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
we're like, we're going to talk about careers. It was like, oh, so my gay side. Oh, let's talk. Yeah, we just went-
Right.
Yeah, that's how it always goes. We start with the best of intentions and we just let it be what it is.
Hey, man, that's free form. That's the best.
Right, that's what we do.
No, dude. Well, thank you for joining us. I really appreciate it. This was something a long time in the making for us to finally connect. We wished you were here live,
Yeah,
but
man,
you
it was
know,
a good time, man. I'm glad. Yeah, well, I picked the one weekend that had shitty weather in Philadelphia to come down for a visit.
right? Yeah. Well, I'm glad we at least got the one show together in while you came down.
I do have
that
one
was
question for you. There's an Eagles hat and a Phillies hat behind you.
Oh, yeah, man.
Now, but you're from upstate New York. What are we doing here?
Oh, no, I'm a Philly guy originally. I lived down there for 30 odd years. Well, 30 years.
Wait a minute. You're from
That's-
Philadelphia.
Yeah. So that's
Wow.
kind of my connection,
Wow. Got to read the preambles here. Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you moved to upstate New York.
Yeah, about
Okay.
20 years ago. Basically,
okay.
decided we wanted to raise our family where the weather was just a little bit shittier yet. So
I like that.
Gotcha.
Good. We will infiltrate those games, and also thank you for being an emissary for Philadelphia and beating up anyone who's there for those teams, right? Because we have
Yeah.
to. No, we have to.
oh yeah, I'm always
I'm going to give the
repping-
garbage plate another opportunity.
Yes.
I'm going to give the garbage plate one more chance when I come up February 10th. So.
Please.
Yeah,
No,
because
definitely,
the
definitely.
fact that you don't like it is kind of, it's a little weird because
I don't know
no
what-
one dislikes those.
I know. I think I was so in my head about this show because that was the first time I was doing like a show that wasn't. It was like 1,700 people. It was like the biggest show I'd ever done in front of people. So I think I was just so nervous that I was like, "What did you just put in your body before you
It's
go?"
gonna come out on stage.
Yeah, it's gonna look
Conceivably,
the
the
same
biggest
on the-
opportunity you've ever been given, and this is what you're putting in your stomach 4 hours before show.
Yeah.
Maybe we should end this like this. Maybe we should have Greg Owens pitch the garbage plate like we did in the game.
Oh,
It sounds like
shit.
two things. You pitch it, then we just pick a card at random, and then he has to try to. improv.
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
The producer has
Answer the question.
spoken. Let's sell me a garbage plate.
Greg, all right. So tell us about I still don't know what a garbage plate is. So like pitch it like we're doing the game, and yeah.
I hope I can do it justice. The garbage plate is a phenomenal late night snack invented by the restaurateur named Nick Tahoe. If I got his name wrong, I'm dead.
Nick Tahoe.
And it's basically half a plate of macaroni salad and half a plate of tater tots or hash browns or some sort of potato. You get a cheeseburger laid on top of that, and then you get a whole big smear of Rochester hot sauce on top of that, which is basically like ground beef, sort of like sloppy Joe mix, but spicy. And then mustard and onions all on top of that, and boom, mix it all together.
Ketchup,
and
mustard,
have
right?
at it.
Ketchup
Yeah.
and mustard, right?
Yeah.
Onions, yep. My mouth was
Onions.
watering.
Yeah,
And just so you know, the hamburger doesn't have any bread on it, Neil. It's just the patties with the
just
cheese.
the patty with the cheese.
Yeah.
patty. Yep. Or you
you
can get them with hot dogs. I like them with hot dogs. Which
I'm
you
a patty guy.
got to call them a red hot or a white hot up here.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
fucking weird. But
And then you mix all that shit together and you just live.
Go to town.
I'm
Okay.
telling you, my mouth was watering.
Let's see if we
All
can
right.
try to sell it in this context.
All right, so here we go. We got the lopsided night. So this is actually a really good pillow. It's called the lopsided night. It's from My Pillow Guy. He actually didn't get to put
Wait,
this
wait,
out.
what's happening? I'm sorry, I messed this up. I
Jay's
thought
doing
Oh, I
it.
you were doing the game tilt. No, we needed it. We needed one of the
He needs the adjective for the
he needs the
plate.
mix because he's going to try to sell it under
The
the,
garbage
context.
plate was garbage
I'm-
and plate was his thing, right?
Oh.
Garbage plate was. It doesn't fit.
He needed
exactly.
the adjective.
He needs the adjective.
Oh, clear.
Man, I'm gonna have to cut this so we don't look like I don't.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
yeah,
I thought
yeah.
I set it up correctly, but I feel like I didn't. I apologize,
gotta-
everybody.
you got to cut me mispronouncing Nick Tahoe's name too.
Yeah, you can't be walking around Rochester. You're
right,
you're
okay.
you're a recognizable guy. You're gonna be. I'm on stage. I was the guy on the podcast who said Nick Tahiti or
All
whatever
right.
the fuck is that.
All right, you ready?
Go ahead, go.
Stylish.
Stylish. So now you have to sell the garbage plate in a stylish fashion.
The stylish garbage plate. Well, we have the delicious original garbage plate from Nick Tahoe, and sometimes we have our high end comedians coming into town, staying at the 5-star Strath Allen hotel, so we can't just serve them a regular garbage plate. We have to give them a stylish garbage plate. That's for the real high end ones, like the I don't know.
Jay Yoders.
the Jay Yoders.
Yeah.
When the board teachers tour comes into town, and
So you get a Ricky Gervais, you put it in a big golden goblet, right? I believe.
So it's a beef tartare and a quail egg.
Mhm. Yeah.
there you go.
That's a stylish garbage plate. There we go. Stylish
All right,
garbage.
That's
that
it,
was-
stylish
I
garbage
did not-
plate.
One of the greatest dishes in the world, and I just did a shitty job selling it. But
No, I thought your first one, you're great.
And it's gonna be all over the internet, brother. You gotta Google yourself. You're gonna be the guy mispronouncing Nick Tahoe's name.
oh no, I got to get a lawyer now. I'll get a lawyer. God damn it!
You're sleeping with the fishes. And
Don't ruin me, Neil.
I will edit it, sir.
Awesome. Well, dude, thank you so much for joining us today. This was great.
Yeah, this was a blast, man. Hopefully, I'll be down there and see you guys in person soon.
Yeah, and make sure you check him out at the Carlson, April 4th.
April 4th, tickets are at carlsoncomedy.com, and we're gonna fill the joint, so don't sit on it.
Yeah, for our audio listeners, just get over to Greg Owens Comedy on IG.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Greg.
All right, thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Yeah.
This was good. This was a good time.
Yeah, seriously, Dad.
We done? Or?
Yeah, it was-
Wait for the clap.
I know, I'm off screen. I was off screen. Sorry. I was trying to get it in there. Good job, everybody.
There we go.
Do you play golf at all, Greg?
Seriously, Dad?
Thank you for listening to the Dads, for once. Give these daddies a break. And maybe follow, subscribe, like, and comment to the Dads on Instagram and YouTube at Seriously Dad Pod. Rate and review Seriously Dad Podcast on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, and everywhere you get your podcasts.
Seriously, Dad?
How you doing? This is Neil Wood from the Cult of Us podcast, speaking on behalf of Drop 10 Media Network, the network you're currently listening to. Make sure to check out all the other podcasts on the network. You can go to drop10.com to check them all out. Make sure to like, subscribe on everything that you see Drop 10 on. We appreciate it. Go to drop10.com now.
Hi, I'm International Man of Mystery Dan DePriel, and I'm one of the weekday comics. My friend Dave and I get paid to do comedy, believe it or not. But we're not allowed to tell all the jokes we want to tell. That's why we started this podcast. Join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m., where we're going to talk about the news of the day and tell a couple of jokes that we just don't feel comfortable telling on stage. Hey, we don't have careers, so who gives a weekday comics? Our podcast, where we give you the big bags of trash we were born to be and aren't allowed on the shows they pay us to do.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.